Let's bring in journalist Michael Shellenberger, but they're very quick, these social media platforms, to shut down the speech of individuals they don't like. Michael, RFK Jr. just got his Instagram account back when? Last week?
That's right. I mean, this is absolutely outrageous. I do hope there's a congressional investigation of the continued existence of child pornography on any social media platform. In this case, you may recall from the story, they discovered that Instagram was actually shielding content and putting a warning over it, but still allowing people to see it. That is crazy. There's no justification for that. And as you pointed out, here's Facebook and Instagram have been focused on censoring legitimate content on vaccine side effects, on the war in Ukraine, on the 2020 elections, on climate change. That's where their focus has been, including on the part of the researchers at Stanford who are trying to rehabilitate their reputation here. And the project is good, but nonetheless, they themselves have been getting the focus on things like Russian disinfo or on the elections or on vaccines, when really we should have been going after this child pornography.
Right. So it seems like they have the capability to censor conservative thought or those who are opposed to some of the government programs during the pandemic. But we know they make money. They make money the more eyeballs they have on their platform and the more time those eyeballs spend on their platform. So they make money off of this. And in the eyes of Instagram or Meta, the parent company, it seems like the conservative posters on their platform are worse than the pedophiles who use their platform.
Yeah, I mean, that's clearly what occurred. I mean, you have to remember, they were censoring people sharing true vaccine side effects on Facebook under the demand of the White House to do that kind of censorship. So this was not misinformation, not disinformation, it was accurate information, and they were censoring it. And Facebook executives themselves told the White House that it was often true information. I myself have been censored for sharing accurate information about climate change. It's a star chamber process. There's no way to get an appeal. And meanwhile, they've just turned a blind eye to all of this child pornography. I mean, there's really... It's very outrageous. People should be outraged about it. I think this is part of an abuse of power that goes way beyond this. I will note that one of the FBI whistleblowers that we interviewed, Steve Friend, was pulled off of his work cracking down on child pornography so he could work on activities around policing so-called domestic extremism. This is the extremism they should be policing.
I'd forgotten that, Michael. But part of it is, and I have been told stories about this, that you need human involvement within these social media companies to really work on cracking down on things like pedophile networks. But those humans are instead involved in censoring speech that the higher ups and the lower downs at these social media networks do not like. And that's how a lot of these accounts of conservatives, or not even conservatives, just people putting information out about vaccines, that's how they get shut down, because it's done by humans who just don't like what you're saying. Right. Instead, those human beings should be working, which by law they're supposed to crack down on child pornography. That is the law. So in essence, they're in violation of law.
Yeah, I mean, look, child pornography is illegal. It is not illegal to talk about vaccine side effects. And you have to remember, we spend a lot of time, there are hundreds of groups promoting censorship against so-called mis and disinformation. The Facebook executives, when you read the correspondence with the White House, it was many pages, it was many, many hours of senior executive time at Facebook to censor true and legitimate content. That time from those leaders should have been going into cracking down on child censorship. This is, child pornography. This is a massive scandal. It's clear that you can't, there's this idea, oh, well, they should be able to do it all. No, you need focus, and child pornography should be at the top of the list of things that they're cracking down on. It's a quite amazing discovery.
So true. Michael Shellenberger, thanks for your insight and thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.